What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and Spider-Gwen has been released. So we're going to take a look at her passives and all her abilities, recruit her, and then briefly check her out in PvE. So thank you to Matthew for this graphic, and now let's get on to our first look at the latest general release. Alright, so first of all, Spider-Gwen is a bruiser, and she costs 90 CP. Luckily, we've been winning quite a bit today in Chapter 12, Mission 2. And I've just been there because I'm trying to level characters to 15. Now, the original Spider-Gwen has two passives. Encore, chance to follow up with Webline Stage Dive after single target attack against web targets. And Spider Sense Defense, chance to evade single target attacks, and attacks evaded in this way are countered with Backbeat Rimshots. Well, we don't know exactly what that means yet, but I'm sure we will once we check out her abilities. So quickly moving on, her level 1 is actually Backbeat Rimshots. So there it is right off the bat, a single target ranged attack that applies webbed, reduces evasion, attacks do 20% less damage and cannot crit. A second application of webbed applies tangled web, and a third application applies binding web. Then on top of that, it's also going to cause exhausted, cannot take extra turns, quick actions become normal actions, and free actions become quick actions. So that's a pretty solid level 1. The exhausted really helps out. And just think, that's probably going to be on her follow-up and counterattack, besides being on her passive proc. Then her level 2 is Webline Stage Dive, and it's an unarmed melee attack that applies Pain Train. Not too bad, but pretty plain, I do have to admit. So then moving on to her level 6, it's Bring the House Down, an AoE catastrophic quick action that has a 60% chance to apply webbed, as well as breakthrough to herself. Alright, let me just say I don't like the 60% chance, but a quick action catastrophic attack, that I do like. Unfortunately, it does have a 3-round cooldown. So I don't know how good this character is going to be. Let's see her level 9 Hard Rock. For this ability, it's a ranged attack that has deadly crits, exploit webbing, and exploits protection. So it's not bad, it should be able to do quite a bit of damage, especially to a protector. But I am kind of on the fence about Spider-Gwen, at least at first look. Still, we have to catch them all, so we're going to go ahead and pick her up. And at the very least, it's another bruiser for our bonuses. And I mean, if her passives do proc quite a bit, she could be decent. Plus, she's going to be great on any team that may be built around webbed. So yeah, here goes 90 CP, and we only have Spider-Girl left to recruit. Hi Agent, it's great to be part of your band. This is a crazy gig though, huh? I've been told we're going to save the universe. I just hope we survive the show so we can play an encore. They're really going heavy on the band theme. But hey, that's cool and she looks great. So now we're going to take a first look at her in PvE. And then we'll probably train her to level 2 and take one more look before we go. Right away she gets the first turn, so we get to see her Backbeat Rimshots. And we are teaming her up with Spider-Man Noir, who should be a fantastic teammate. They both of course have webbed, and they can build around his flanked. Plus exploits webbing is going to be big. So we'll go ahead and gum up the works on the top Goliath, and now he is flanked. After the enemy attacks, we're going to spread the webbing around by hitting the bottom Goliath with our level 1. It's a really cool multi-hit attack, I do have to give her that. And that exhausted on a level 1, that's hard to top. Okay, so our Beat It takes down one of the enemies, and then the top target does take a counter. So what we're going to do is flank our last remaining enemy. That doesn't have flanked, I mean. Then we'll use the Light Fantastic with my agent. And we should get at least one more attack in with Spider-Gwen. Now whoever Spider-Gwen attacks, she's going to get a second. Well, she has to attack the Goliath. But she's going to get a second level 1. So that's greater bang for our buck. After this, one more hit will do it, so we'll use our level 9 with Spider-Man Noir, and in part thanks to Spider-Gwen, it's going to be a big knockout. So that's our first time ever using her in combat, and now we're going to level her to 2, and then we'll check back in. Now this time she has 2 abilities and it's in a 2-wave threat, so we should get plenty of time to see both of her abilities in action. I really hate it when the enemies get multiple turns to begin a fight, but there's nothing we can do about that. At least it does look like our agent's going to counter, and a Beat It proc takes down one of the enemies right off the bat. Next, on Spider-Gwen's turn, we're going to see her level 2 Webline Stage Dive. So now we've seen both of her procs that could happen thanks to her passive. And I do have to say I like that they're both multi-hit attacks. They're pretty cool animation. Also, maybe they would proc more if she was a protector. So perhaps I'll try her with Phoenix and give her Mind Link. Well, at least her Spider Sense defense. Her Encore, apparently, I'm having bad luck with that. If it does proc and she gets a follow-up Webline Stage Dive after she hits a web target, then Spider-Man Noir should join in with a Beat It. Similar to just what happened, but that was because of Flanked. That would definitely take this team up another notch. But like I said, we really haven't seen that passive proc yet. We'll have to try to spread out that webbing and try it again. The other interesting thing about that is, if she does hit a flanked web target, will she get 2 follow-up attacks? My guess is she would, but right now we just aren't getting it. Alright, well, one more attack from Spider-Man Noir should do it, and then it's on to the second wave. That will be the final wave of this first look. Thus far, Spider-Gwen is just so-so. I'm not too excited about her in PvP, but I do think this is probably the best team up for her. On the bright side, she looks great, her animations are fun, I love her multi-hit attacks, and her passives do have potential, depending on their proc rate. Now right away in this second wave, we're going to take down a Goliath. He's finished off by a Beat It. And so there's only 2 characters remaining. We're making pretty quick work of this second wave. A Mandible and another Beat It takes down a second enemy. So it's going to be Spider-Gwen versus this last Reaver. At least she does gain enraged by attacking a Scrapper. And I just realized she's giving him an elbow drop. That's an amazing way to start a combo. But enough playing around, it's time to bust some heads. Spider-Man Noir will easily finish this fight with an attack from his level 9. And with that, that's going to be the end of our first look at Spider-Gwen. She's a cool character, and if you have the spare CP, you should consider picking her up. She does not look to be overpowered though, so there's no rush. Although I will check back in with her once we level her, and I'll give you my updated opinion then. That's going to be it for now, but I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.